Hey guys, for this video today, I'm actually going to follow up on what I was talking about in my last video, and that was the Kootenay Ice and their new uniforms and logos as of the 2018-19 WHL season. So, after discussing the Kootenay Ice and my thoughts on them relocating to Winnipeg in my last video, which I made back on Sunday. I think I uploaded it on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, but in that video, I did talk about their new logo and their new uniforms, and I did say that I did like their new logo. I feel that they did a really good job with it. I do kind of wish it had a bit of a mountain or something behind it like the old logo had, which I'll show you guys a picture of that right now. If I can find one. Let's see. Here, I'll get a better shot of it later on, but that's the old logo with the Yeti and the mountain behind it. As you can see, it definitely looks like a logo that was definitely a little bit overdue for an update, in my own honest opinion. I actually think that it's really good that Kootenay did update their logo. I mean, I did like the mountain behind it, but it definitely looked like something like a logo that came out of the 90s, and I'm glad that they did update it over the past year or so. I think they brought their new logo and uniforms in last season, but for this video today, I'll sit down and discuss my thoughts on their new uniforms and ultimately their new logos, because I actually think that for a new modern logo, the Kootenay Ice did a really good job with it. I mean, there's some things about the old logo that I really like, but I really do feel that they did a great job with this new one. But for starters, I'm going to start by discussing their current home jersey as of this season. As you can see, it's just the Los Angeles Kings jersey template, where it's a black jersey with gray stripes with powder blue accents and powder blue piping instead of silver like the Kings jersey. So it's great that the Kootenay Ice have used powder blue as an accent, but I think that it should be the main color, because I really don't like the fact that they just took the Los Angeles Kings template and recolored it a bit and put their logo on the front. And I'll give you a close-up of the logo later on, but this is their home jersey. This is the front of it, and I'll try and get a look at the back of it, or a picture of the back of the jersey for you too. If I can find a good photo, that is. But let's see. But yeah, with the Kootenay Ice, I think originally what they were planning on doing is they were planning on using a stencil font of some sort, if I'm not mistaken. But they ended up scrapping that, which I think was the right decision. Actually, wait. I'll show you a picture of it right here. But originally, this was the font that they were going for, and they actually changed it at the last minute. But anyways, this is the away jersey with the powder blue accents and the black stripes. And actually, in my opinion, this one is actually really quite nice. Even though it's a Los Angeles Kings template, basically, well, it is, I actually feel that the Kootenay Ice used it well. But once again, I wish the main color of the striping was powder blue instead of black. And if they didn't have the piping, I think that would have made it better as well, eh? But I'm just trying to see if I can't find a good photo of their new lettering and numbering font here. And I'll do my best to find it real quick. But let's see. Looks like I'm not having any luck, but okay, here we go. This is it right here. Basically, the numbering font is a lot like the Carolina Hurricanes' current uniform font. It's a little bit different, but that's basically the gist of it. But yeah, this is their away jersey, and honestly, I feel that it looks a hell of a lot better than the black one. And also, actually, in the Canadian Hockey League, I believe for half the season, the teams wear white at home, which actually, I do like that. I mean, I do prefer color at home for anybody wondering, but I also really, really like it when teams wear white at home as well. And here, there's a shot of their new number and lettering font, and their letters are basically block letters from what I can see. I mean, this is not the best photo, but this will have to make do. But once again, you see the gray on black. I really don't like that. I wish the main stripe color was powder blue and not powder blue accents instead. I mean, I wish that the main striping was actually powder blue. But you want to know something? I feel that the main jersey should be powder blue. It would be very unique and it would really stand out. And I feel that powder blue is a bit of an underused color. Criminally underused color, I might add. I mean, I love that shade of blue. It's beautiful. So here's a close-up of the home jersey logo. It's dark gray. But once again, like I said in my last video, notice how it says Ice here subtly on the left-hand side. I love that. I mean, I think the Kootenay Ice did a brilliant job with that logo. And could it have been a little bit better? In my opinion, yes. But for what they came up with, I honestly feel that Kootenay has done a really, really good job with it, to be quite honest. And, you know, I think they do deserve a tip of the hat for being creative with their new logo. And here's the white jersey's logo. I think this looks way better. If this was on a powder blue home jersey, this would be really quite nice. And besides, the team is called the Ice. I mean, what better way to have... I couldn't think of a more cold color than powder blue. And it's such a great representation for a team called Ice. I think it should be their main color, not black. It should be their main colored jersey. Or sorry, their dark jersey. It should not be black. Their main jersey should be powder blue. Once again, you see the Ice there. Very subtle, but it's there, and it looks great. And this is their new wordmark logo. And I think, let me see if they have a shoulder patch logo too. I mean, I figure that since I'm doing this video anyway, I might as well try and give you every look that I can give you. But yeah, no. So that one says Ice, and there's their new number font there. So that shoulder patch just says Ice, and it has the Yeti coming out of it, or breaking through it, or trying to at least. And I might try and find another photo of it momentarily. But this is the old logo of the Kootenay Ice. I wanted to share it with you guys. I like the mountain behind it. But as you can see, it definitely looks like a product of its time. So I'm glad it did get an update, though. And I actually like that they did clean up their uniforms a bit. But switching from one bad template, or from the Colorado Avalanche's old, thankfully now old template, to now switching to the Los Angeles Kings template. I mean, this new template is better, but it could, in my opinion, it definitely could be better, because I honestly feel that, you know what, if they would just make their home jersey powder blue instead, I believe it would be much, much better. But the black jersey is okay for a junior hockey team, but it's not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. And I'm glad that they didn't go with that weird stencil font that they were initially considering, because in my opinion, I think that what they went with is definitely better. Okay, here, let me see. Here's that shoulder patch logo. Sorry it took me this long to find it, but we're talking about a Western Hockey League team here, and sometimes it's harder to find things about Western Hockey League and Canadian Hockey League teams in general than NHL teams, that's for damn sure. That's not a bad secondary logo, but I gotta say, this, in my opinion, is a well-conceived logo, and looking at it now, I actually like it even more than even my last video, to be honest. It's actually grown on me since my last video, believe it or not. But, you know, it's so clever. I love how they put the word Ice here. So it's there, but it's relatively subtle, and it looks really quite nicely done. I just wish this was the logo on the main jersey instead of the darkened version of it. And I'll give you a quick look at that one as well once again. But this lighter Yeti head looks much better than this one. I mean, It's cool on the black jersey, but I like the other one better. The white and powder blue look great together on it. And I just feel that the lighter coloring of this logo looks way better than the darker one. And if they had their main crest that's on the white jersey with the lighter colors on it on a powder blue jersey as the home jersey when they relocate to Winnipeg next year, I think that would be great. And you know what? I mean, for a junior hockey team, I mean, you can't expect... I mean, from what I've noticed, most junior hockey teams seem to go with NHL templates more often than not. But you know what? For a junior hockey team, I actually feel that Kootenay has done a relatively decent job. And once again, I do think it sucks that they have to relocate, but I do think they will do well in Winnipeg. And I'm glad to see that Manitoba is getting another team again. And there's something I want to quickly talk about regarding that in just a moment. But here's a final look at their home jersey or their black jersey, and I'll show you their white jersey as well one last time. Just bear with me for a moment. Let's see. Here, I'll find it in just a sec. So I'll show you the graphic that the Ice created for it. I think these are a little better. But this is their new dark jersey, and this is their new white jersey. And the only difference between the photos here that I'm showing you and the on-ice jerseys is the lettering and numbering font. They did change it at the last minute, and I felt that was the right move. But this is the white one, and honestly, I think that the white jersey is far superior to the black one. But imagine this lighter colored version of their new logo on a powder blue jersey that matches this without the piping. I think it would look really good. I mean, potentially they could even add a shoulder yoke and it would actually look quite nice too. But you know what? I actually feel that the Kootenay Ice when they unveiled these uniforms last season, they were an upgrade over what they replaced. I'm not really going to go into too much over what they replaced. Because basically they were black and white jerseys that had the Colorado Avalanche's, or the Avs' old Reebok Edge template, that awful one, with the side panels and the stripes that on the arms, from the shoulders all the way down to the cuffs of the arms, eh? So I'm glad that the Ice have updated that, and I figured it was worthy of doing a video for because they are brand new, and I actually feel that the Ice did a really good job with their new logos. And I do believe that their new uniforms are upgrades over what they replaced. But as I say that though, with them moving to Winnipeg next season, I'm expecting them to just call themselves they will be called the Winnipeg Ice. They are keeping the Ice name. I just don't expect any new uniforms next season, but after the 2019-2020 season and once they're established in Winnipeg, I could easily see a new third jersey to say, hey, we're now the Winnipeg Ice. A new Winnipeg third jersey. Or something new for the franchise now that they will be in Winnipeg starting next season. And if they do decide to make a uniform change, I hope that they make their home jersey or their dark jersey powder blue. Because I think that would be so cool. And if they had that with their logo that's on their white jersey, the lighter Yeti head, I mean, goodness me, folks, this would look great on a powder blue jersey. And even if they kept the Kings template and just had a powder blue dark jersey instead of a black one, or even just made the black one their third, that would be an improvement. A pretty good one as far as I'm concerned. But for one last thing that I do want to end off with, I did mention that the Winnipeg Ice will be Manitoba's second WHL franchise in my last video. However, I did not mention that there have actually been other franchises in the province of Manitoba before. And it's something that I really wanted to correct here while I'm doing this little video as well. But truth is, Winnipeg did have a WHL team at one point, and I believe, let's see, I believe they were called the Winnipeg Monarchs, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just gonna see I'm just going to see if they were called the Monarchs. And yes, they were. There was a team called the Winnipeg Monarchs. There was also the Winnipeg Warriors before they moved to Moose Jaw. And also, there is a team called the Flin Flon Bombers, but I can't remember. Was there also a Flin Flon Bombers that played in the WHL? I can't remember because they're saying this. It's an SJHL, Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League team. But yeah, no. I think they were a WHL team too. I'd have to look into that and or if anybody knows, feel free to tell me. But I know that Manitoba hasn't just only had the Brandon Wheat Kings after all this time. I know that there was another Winnipeg team before, and yeah, let me see. I don't want to spend too much time on this because Manitoba CHL or teams, not CFL. But yeah, no, so Western Hockey League. Yeah, because there was, the Flin Flon Bombers. There was also in the Western Hockey League, the Winnipeg Monarchs and the Winnipeg Warriors before they moved to Moose Jaw. So there have been multiple teams in the province of Manitoba. So I just wanted to quickly add that in just to correct a little bit on what I said in my last video, because after I watched that video after I uploaded it, I was just like, shoot, I forgot to mention that. So I figured I'd mention that here. But once again, as I said in my last video, I do think it stinks that a smaller community like Cranbrook, British Columbia is losing the Kootenay Ice, but I do think that the Ice will do well in Winnipeg. And if they are having attendance issues in Cranbrook, I actually have a feeling that their attendance is going to be a lot better in Winnipeg. But anyways, folks, I thought this was an interesting, fun little extra video to sit down and do. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, as usual, you guys take care. And of course, as always, bye for now.